Justin Gatlin is the latest in a long line of sprint sensations to emerge from the USA.
Gatlin got a good start. Look at this man coming through now. Gatlin. What a fantastic performance from Gatlin. It's all about Gatlin.
Ultimate goal is to be one of the best sprinters in history.
And what a fantastic performance from Gatlin. And look at the time.
It's the American leading the Jamaican at the moment.
He knows he is the world champion.
Justin Gatlin is the world champion here in London.
What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of Ready, Set, Go. We in the building. Listen. We don't have one of the legends. We have the legend himself. This is what you all been waiting for.
Don't say it.
So many people in our chats have hit us up. So many people on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, everything, comments, posts, Instagram, social media, TikTok. Everybody wanted to see this happen. And what I can say is, I didn't make this happen. This man himself made this happen. The amazing, legendary Usain Bolt himself has made this happen. We have him in the studio today, man.
Welcome to Ready, Set.
Bolt's going to win this one and crosses the line in a wonderful time. Gets it again. Bolt going very near. Comes Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt storming through. He takes it again. It's very close, but it's a great man, I think. Usain Bolt of Jamaica is the fastest man on the planet.
What's happening, sir? Usain. Better be respectful, man.
What's up?
Be respectful. Man. What's happening, man? Welcome to the show, man.
Happy to be here, man.
It's so crazy. We've been chasing you for 11 months, man. And the funny thing is, you hit him directly. You were trying to get you through your people, and then you hit him directly.
To my people?
Yeah.
NJ? Look at that's my people over there.
We were. So when he showed me the text that you hit him directly, I was like, man, we've been chasing this man for 11 months. All right, let's make it happen. And then here we are, man. Listen, we know our followers, everybody have been waiting for this type of interview. So y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? We're going to have a good convo, probably of part 1 with Usain Bolt. We definitely will have him back if he allows it. Welcome to the show, man.
Happy to be here, man. Happy to be
here, man. What? I'm gonna start off with one question, man. You know, before
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Before you even start, man. Last night, the last 24 hours, last 48 hours, bro, I was antsy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was like, man, this shit about to really happen, dog. Hold on, dog. We about to sit down and have a conversation, dog. And then I was like, because I know when we talk through like DMs or like that, you know, it'd be like, I'll text you. And then like you'll reply the next day. And then you'll text me the day after or whatever like that. So it kind of sporadic. But the fact is you've been true to it. You know what I mean? And as we got down here, I said, what if this man don't show up, dog? What if he say he gotta reschedule? I was like, what are we gonna do? I said, you know what? We're gonna have to hit up the strip club, dog, and just have some fun, man.
Tootsie said we come.
That's what we gonna be, dog. Or something, dog. We here. We gotta make some fun with it. But we here now, man. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated.
No worries.
What you got, Rod? What's up?
Man, I just gonna ask you, current state of track and field, man. What you think about it? Just the general state. You don't have to be specific.
I think they're trying though. I think I watch the competition. It's better, I must say. I think the competition, like the women level, are not dropped. I think they have really surpassed men when it comes to competing. I watch and the level that they're at, and everybody's running world records. They're running fast at time. They're PRing. So for me, it's okay. I think it could be better. I think Michael Johnson's doing this new thing. I hope works. You know what I mean? Because it's better for the athletes, more money. Yeah, that's always good because track and field is way down on the total pole when it comes to making money. So I think if this works, it'll be a big deal.
I think you find a lot of athletes right now, they're running for the fame instead of running for the performance.
Yeah.
And so they're thinking like, oh, if I run, I'm gonna get some exposure, I'm gonna get some fame, whatever like that. Where in our era was about, let's gut it out. Yeah. Let's be gritty. Yeah. Let's put on a great show because we know that's where the fame gonna come from. Yeah, exactly. That's where it's gonna be legendary at.
I think a lot of them don't understand. I watch my fellow Jamaicans and I watch it. I'm like, yo, you guys don't want it like we used to want it. You know what I mean? Because when I sit and I have conversations and I sit and watch and I go to training and observe and I'm like, nah, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Me, the moment I think about you, no doubt, you think about me. I think about you all the time when I was running.
Yeah.
I show up to track, I'm like, yo, I need to get this right. You know what I mean? Because I know, like, yes, I'm good at the top end, but if I can't catch him at the end, what's going to happen? So I have to make sure I work on everything. You know what I mean? I feel a pain in my calf. I'm like, yo, I still need to do something. Even if it's not a full program, even if I need to just jog, just do something. I need to do something to make sure I don't waste this day. You know what I mean? But I don't think most of these younger athletes, they're not like that. They're not built the same.
Even saying that, man, like, I used to dedicate reps in the gym to you. Like, I used to be like, all right, last rep, max out. I'd be like, all right, I got to do this for Usain. Because the thing is, like, I felt like the moments we get to there in that line, because especially for the finals, it wasn't necessarily always about speed. It was about attrition. It was about who can last the longest, who can be able to go out there and just outpower the field.
Yeah, it's rounds, man. You gotta get through it. Listen, this was in my documentary. And this is the first, as you said, we're talking. Bro, I'm telling you, the best thing that happened to me is the day you went on that interview. And I'll never forget, I was there and somebody said it to me. I'll never forget. And the guy was like, say it, come on. Say it, what are you going to do? And you were like, yo, I'm going to win this gold medel.
Come back to America
my neck, bro. You don't know the motivation that gave me. That whole season, I was like, I was tired because I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And I've been winning. I was like, I didn't have the motivation. But the moment I saw that video, I was like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? That gave me, I think maybe if I didn't get that video, you would have got me that year.
Listen though, he's never seen that to this day.
No.
He wouldn't, he refused to watch listen, I tell him all the time.
You talking about the documentary?
Yes.
I watched it. I finally watched the documentary.
Listen, I tried to tell him, right? I was like, bro, it'd probably be a pretty good watch. He's like, man, I'm not watching that shit. But he didn't watch that to this day. But I was telling him, I was like, bro, he was so bored. He's like, until you said that, he didn't feel like a new resurgence for training. And he said that. And then that's why I say he talked about, who is this guy, the little one? He was talking about Mike.
Oh, why? Documentary.
Yeah.
I'm like, he called that man the little one. That's
but
he was bro.
Come on. I think we ran one race and he ran up on me and then he was like, I was like, bro.
You're not even using full power, bro. Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's not
like the Mike, man.
It's not getting crazy.
I remember that photo. Y'all were looking down.
Yeah, and then he was like, I was like, bro, just be cool. It's not getting crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That year was crazy. Talking about that year going into your documentary, because that year you ran New York, you ran the 200.
Yeah.
And Justin was just coming on after the Bahamas World Relays, and we sat at the house and we watched that New York meet.
Exactly.
And I think you ran like 20.3, but it was a hard 20.3.
Yeah, it was horrible, man.
And me and Justin was looking, and he was like, oh yeah, he cooked.
Yeah, I
literally was doing.
He was looking like, oh yeah, he cooked.
I literally was doing an interview at my parents' house when we watched that race, and everybody looked at me, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
But I tell you what though, the fact of I couldn't watch the documentary for a while. I had to do it in my own time because the thing was for me was I didn't want to humanize you yet because I knew that I was going to like you. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was going to like you. I was like, man, I can't like this dude because if I get to the line, I'm going to be like, yeah, he that dude, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I told people though. Throughout the years, I could not figure him out because first part of the season, he would see me, he wouldn't say nothing to me. He just do what he's doing, we race, whatever. And then after the championship, he was like, yo, hey. Like, what? You know what I mean? For a couple of years, he would, every time after the championship, he's the nicest guy. Hey, what's up? We wouldn't have a conversation, but he wouldn't walk past me. He would be like, hey, I would be like, hey. You know what I mean? But before that, bro, every time he passed me, he's like, and then I figured out that's just how he dealt with things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We understood that the prize is the championship. So we're no friends right now, bro. And I got that. But after like 3 years after me competing every time, I was like, something's wrong with this cat. You know what I mean? But then I figured out that that's just some people just deal with certain things. we can't be friends, bro. We're going to war. We can't be friends.
Yeah.
And I have to respect that. You know what I mean?
I was the opposite of you. Like, you needed to be comfortable in your environment because then that's when you knew you was able to race at your highest level. For me, I was always away from the track. I was like you on the track. I was cool, relaxed, chill.
Yeah.
But I knew that person away from the track was not going to get the job done for me on the track. So I needed to be that monster. I needed to be that beast. I needed to be aggressive. But after you crossed the finish line, that's not me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every time I saw you, it was like, I was like, look what you saying, dog. And the times that we would be in the club, I'd be like, look at you saying in the DJ booth, dog. He getting it in. He cutting it up, dog.
Man, we gonna, I like that we went over all of that. And listen, to our fans, I told them that this interview did not need me. It could have just been them talking about a few things, but it's a few things we gonna go over where I probably have to mediate between some of the questions that's being asked. But we're gonna go over a little bit about in 07 Bolt. 07 and before.
Yeah.
You know, most people measure you by your success, and they don't measure you at what happened before your success. What it took, the mindset of you being such a dominant junior athlete, and then coming into the professional ranks and not being so dominant.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Well, my junior days, I think they were fun because for me, I was just young and good. I was really talented when I was young. So for me, my junior days were easy. It was fun. It was transitioning now from being a junior to a senior to start being professional. That was hard for me because when you're used to just winning everything, it's like whatever. So when I came onto the scene, I was like, yeah, I'm going to win everything. I felt like it was going to be as easy because I was beating all the seniors in Jamaica when I was 16, 17. I beat Chris Williams, all these older guys that used to compete before me. Mm-hmm. Nobody could beat me. I win every trials I've been to when I went to the seniors. But when I got into the circuit, it was different. Then I met, there was time was Wallace, and I met Gay was there at the time. So everybody was just beating me. I'll come fourth, fifth. And I was like, I went to my coach. I was like, what's happening? And he goes, listen, everybody on this circuit has talent. You need to understand that. It's who's going to work at their talent the most is going to be the best. You know what I mean? And that's when I started trying to do better and to work a little bit more. And I did enough, but it wasn't enough because 07, I felt like I trained well, I did enough. But when I got to the championship and I ran against Tyson and I lost, I was like, coach, what happened? He's like, yo, you did training, but you're weak. I was still skinny. If you look at the thing, I was skinny as hell because I hated the gym.
Yeah.
I hated the gym. You know what I mean? So that was when it turned. Coach was like, if you want to win or you want to be the best, you got to hit the gym.
And that was Mills. Coach Mills. Yeah. When was the moment that you bought into Mills' philosophy when you was like, I'm all in?
That year, man. I'm telling you, that year, yeah. I remember when we started in 05, we started together, and he said to me, we have a 3-year plan because I was still getting injured because of my scoliosis and back. We couldn't figure it out. So he's like, yo, we have a 3-year plan. We're going to work towards the Olympics. I go, all right, cool. So we took our time, but I was still young, man. I was still like, I'm going to train, but I'm not going to train. I train today, I'll not train tomorrow type of vibe. But in 07, I was like, you know what? I'm going to train. But I hated the gym, so I wouldn't go to the gym. But I would train, but I was weak. So when he sat me down after the season, like, yo, if you really want to win, you have to go to the gym. You have to do the rollouts for your hamstring. You have to do your back exercise. You have to do your core. Everything has to be on point. For me, 08, I was the fittest I've ever been my entire life, bro.
I always tell people, 08,
that was my
Usain is
best,
the best.
That was my best year.
Well, damn, you
even
was fittest.
after that. 08 was my best year, man.
I
was
feel
all in
you was
that
the
year.
fittest of everybody in the world.
Yeah, I was ready that year. Yeah, I was ready that year, man. Trust me.
Listen, everybody always asks me, and I'm not no professional analyst, but like when they ask me like which bolt you think is the best bolt, is it 958 bolt or 08 bolt? I always say 08 bolt. I said because it's more effortless. You know what I mean? I said when you watch him in the 958, he works, he knows what he's trying to do. I said he broke the world record like breaking the world record, not even wanting to, just showing that he's a competitor and competing at a high level. So I always tell people that. But like, going back to what you said in 07, hitting the gym, what made you convince Mills to let you run the 100? Because you ran 10:03 at the end of 07.
It was just a bet, bro. It was just a bet.
It was a bet.
Yeah.
A bet created history's best ever runner ever.
Yeah, it was a bet.
So it was a bet.
At the end of the season, after the World Championship of soccer, we were talking about what we need to do, and he goes, yo, you need to get in the gym, and you also need to run another event. And he wanted me to do the 400 meters. I was like, Coach, I'm not doing the 400 meters. And he goes, nah, you have to do the 400 because it's going to help you 200 meters. It's like, gosh, nah. I was like, all right, let's make a bet. Let me run 100 meters. If I run fast, I run 100 meters. If I run slow, I run the 400 meters. But I thought he thought I was going to run slow. I'll never forget, me and Wallace was actually in that race. It was in Greece. And me and him were talking, and we're like, yo, I just want to get to 10-1. If I can get to 10-1, I think that's quick enough. And he was like, you run 10-1, that's excellent. You know what I mean? Wallace is also slow to others. You're like, if you get to 10-1, bro, that's solid. So when I ran 10:03, I was like, oh, you can't say no.
We here. The math is mathing.
Because then it was 9.8, 9.7. You know what I mean? Everybody was running a regular 9.9. It wasn't like consistently 9.8, 9.7. So he was like, okay. And that's how I got into it. If I had run like 10.2, I would be running 400 meters, bro.
Oh, that's crazy. That's,
10.2 would have changed
moment.
History's events of what we would have been talking about
that
right
one
now.
moment
exactly.
in time when the gun went off.
Yeah.
If you ran 10:22, we'd have been seeing a 400 meter boat instead of a 100 meter boat.
I'll be running the 400. I would have been good too, but I hate the training, bro.
So you think well, I mean, I think so too. I think most of the world thinks so too. You would have been in the rare air of that power pack small group of 9 seconds, 19, and sub 44. So
I wouldn't have gotten the 100 though. My coach wouldn't allow me.
Yeah, he would never run the 100.
I would have never run the 100.
Wow,
you would have never seen me in 100 meters. It would just been 2 and 4. That would be it. Just like Michael Johnson, it would have been 2, 4.
That's crazy.
Because my coach, he wanted me. Even no matter how fast I was running, he always saying, yo, you should maybe change. I'm like, oh, no. I'm not changing.
Listen,
that
your
blows
medal,
my mind.
Your
bro.
medal count could have been so different, bro. Like, because even at 19.3 or 19.1, where you were, I feel like you could have jumped on a couple of those 4x4s.
Yeah,
like a
I
real
think
difference. Like a real difference.
Like in the start, maybe, but Jamaican team, the US team was different back in the day.
Hold on, the Bahamas team too, because we won in 2012 in the 4x4.
Yeah,
so Bahamas team.
Yeah,
you can put us in there. Don't
if
do
it
that.
was close, if it was close though, I think I told him like any year you guys are close to the US, I'll take a run. I would have taken a shot at it because I enjoy running 4x4s. I actually enjoy running 4x4s. I hate 400. The 4x4s are fun to me. You know what I mean? It's almost like a speed race for me. I enjoy doing it. I used to love running 4x4s, like because coach usually gives us like 400s in the early part of the season. Like now in February we start out. You have to run a 400 every season. You have to run a 400 meters, and then we do 4x4s because I enjoy doing it. I mean,
you hear that, coaches out there? 400 is good base training.
Yeah, always, every year. Everybody has to do it. No matter who you are, you're doing a 400 meters.
We went from doing 4x4s in the beginning of the season, start doing open 4s. We didn't have enough people to do 4x4s. And I hated it.
Yeah, of course.
I hated doing open 4s. I love the 4x4s.
Yeah, 4x4 is not, for some reason, it's not as tough as a 400, but 4x4, I still love it.
Probably because you're going in with a team, though.
What was your motivation? Like,
and what years though?
For me,
you gotta be specific.
I'm talking about in his early years. So let's just say right after you ran 10:03, right? Like now your motivation is to get into the 100. Did you have people that you looked up to and you was like, man, I want to be like that. I got to get down there. Like, what motivates you to get better in the hundreds and become the boat that you are?
I've never said this before, bro. The only reason there's no, oh, I want to be like this guy. I just never want to run the 100. the 400 meters. I didn't care. I didn't care about nothing.
The
bro.
fear of the
I'm telling
400
you,
made
bro.
him the best 100-meter runner in history.
The fear of the 400 meters. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't like the 200 is my favorite event, bro. That's what I love. I love my 200 meters.
Yeah.
Loved it. You know what I mean? Because throughout the years, when I started running, I used to run 100 meters, but I was so slow at the blocks, I would never make it through the semifinals. You know what I mean?
For real?
So yeah, I went to Miami Classics. I got to the semifinals, came like 6th. I could never get to the finals because I was
By the
really
time you
bad
get top
at
end, you would never be
Everybody
real
was
estate.
done.
Yeah.
So I used to do that. And then in high school, I started running the 400 meters because I did that at Boys and Girls Championships in my last year and I won. So I was doing 2-4. But I understand the work that you have to put in for the 400 meters. I was like, nah. So I didn't really have a motivation. I just didn't want to run the 400 meters.
So you told coach like, hey coach, you just lucky you got me out here. Like you trying to get me to do this 4? I don't know, man. Hold on.
But my coach, he ended up loving it, bro. Loving the 100 meters because at the Olympics, I'll never forget this.
Which one though?
The first one. 08. And it became a thing. 08. So he stood over me all the time. You watch, he's like, yo, do some wind sprints, do some this. And the 200 came and he would send his assistant like, yo, go work with him. He didn't like, after I won the 100, he's like, yo, the 200 is yours, go figure it out. that's how you always do me. I'm like, coach, why you keep doing this? But he knows that I love it. So I would make sure I would do everything to get it right. You know what I mean? So it was something that we had going. So anytime the 100 meters, if you watch or notice, 100 meters, he's always over me, doing starts, doing everything. And then for the 200, he's sitting in the stands and it's always I'm with the assistant or I'm by myself doing some turns or something. It was something that I always do. So it's actually
something y'all grew together with. Like it was rewarding to him too.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Moving in, like we said, like chronologically, moving from 07 to 08. I've talked to Justin in 08 about watching you during 08, but pre-Olympics 08, talking about Icon Stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of Jamaicans in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a rumor. Hold on, before I even get to that, there is a rumor. I'm going to get to this rumor first. I'm going to ask you if it's true or not. There's a rumor in 07 that your Puma contract was done and you had a meeting with Nike. You wanted to be signed by Nike and Nike turned down the deal and you ended up back with Puma. Is that rumor true?
No.
You never had a meeting with Nike at all?
Nike, we had a meeting with Nike. It was after 2012 or before 2012. That's the only time we've had a meeting with Nike.
And they let you go? That's crazy.
Nah, Puma doesn't match the contract. they got me paid. Nike got me paid. I don't say that. Nike got me paid, bro.
Shout out to Nike for that.
You know what I mean? Nike got me paid. So they came in and that discussion had, and then we told the CEO at the time, we actually flew to Kenya. The CEO at the time, I can't remember what his name, was it Zykes? I think it was Zykes at the time. It was a Puma CEO. And he flew us to Kenya that year.
Africa.
And so, and we sat and discussed. And when he told me the figure, I had to play it cool, bro. I had to play it cool. Like they got me paid, I must say.
That's good. Shout out to Nike.
Yeah,
I always wanted to ask that.
You sitting in that office.
It wasn't the first time, but it was the second contract.
You sitting in the office like, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Let me talk to my people and we'll get back to you.
Be like, we ain't talking to nobody. I seen what I needed to see.
We having no conversation. We getting paid. You know what I mean?
Well, moving on, like that was always a rumor that a lot of people talked about. They always be like, whatever Nike rep let Usain Bolt goes crazy.
Remember, I wasn't doing much then though. You have to remember that.
This is true.
This is before I really got hot. I was good, but I wasn't hot. You know what I mean?
This is true, but that's the thing. It's like, based on that, like, if you're a rep who could have signed Usain Bolt in 07 and then you watch what happened in 08, you're like, you're looking at your CEO like, I'm fine, ain't I? I'm fine. Because you watch the 100 world record get broken,
yeah.
you watch the 200 meter world record get broken, then you watch the 4x1 go by, you be like, this is the guy who we didn't sign?
Yeah.
You're fired. You're fired. So that's the question as to why that would happen. Whoever that guy is, you're not fired. Hopefully you still have your job. But anyway, going into that another rumor that was highly spoken about, like that nobody knows, the night that you broke the world record, against a formidable athlete such as Tyson Gay, they said they had you guys sitting for like an hour because of weather conditions.
Yeah. They did. Because I didn't know in the States that when it's lightning, they shut everything down.
Yeah.
So it was raining, and we're like, yo, we're used to it. So I'm like, no, let's go. And they go, nah, there's lightning. And they have to wait half an hour to an hour. So we're just there trying to stay warm. You know what I mean? So it's back and forth and trying to make sure we're good. You know what I mean? As athletes, you got to make sure you stay warm. And there wasn't even much space there to even stay warm because that stadium was made for like smaller meets at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like a proper track. It was just a little thing in a corridor way that you could warm up. So
was it your intent to threaten the world record that night?
Nah. I was just trying to beat Tyson. Remember, he just beat me last year.
Yeah.
So I'm showing up to beat Tyson.
Yeah.
Didn't care about the world record.
He was, I talk to Tyson every now and then. He was kind of blown away by it because, you know, that was his first year coming away as a triple gold champion. And when he lost to you, he had equaled his PB that night.
Yeah.
And I remember him coming back because we trained on the same track. I remember him coming back in the same gym. And he just was like, it was a crazy moment for him because he was like, yo, I just started the year where I ended. And I got beat.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, Justin pointed out something to me the other day. He was like, yo, every time Tyson got better, Usain just got that much better than him. He said, Tyson ran 9.8. He ran 9.7. Then when Tyson ran 9.7, he ran 9.6. When Tyson ran 9.6, he ran 9.5. So it just is that much crazy, which Tyson is one of your greatest competitors. But
sure.
like, it's so crazy that night that they made y'all sit
I told
for
you
hours.
I was ready that year. I was ready. I told you that's the fittest I've ever been in my life. I was going through training, like coach was shocked the times I'm running. Yo, he said he knew, but I didn't know.
You was invested.
Yeah, because I'm never I'm gonna break this record type of guy. I just want to win because I'm a competitor. I don't really care about the records. You know what I mean? So I go out there to just win. I want to win. I want to compete against the best at all times. You know what I mean? So that's something I look forward to.
Do you think it's better that way, that your coach knows and that you just stay in competitive form, like dog mentality?
Yeah, I would have never changed. I was never that person going to say, oh, I'm going to come and break this record now. I'm never going to say that. That's just not me. And that's not who I am.
Now that I think about it,
I don't
I've never heard you say that.
Nah.
I've never heard him say,
I'm going for a record.
I'm going for the world record. I've never heard him say that.
I just look forward to competition, man. I
so
love
what was your thought? You cross that line at Icon Stadium, you look at the time, and we watch the video, like you literally do a victory lap. On the backside of Icon Stadium, there's nobody on the backside of Icon Stadium. You literally still ran around the whole track.
I didn't even look at the clock, though.
You
knew you won.
When I got to if you watch the race, when I got to the 200 meters, when I was doing the lap, and then was when I heard when the announcer said, yeah, it's official, it's a world record, and I was like, you know what I mean? That was when I actually heard it was I didn't even know that. Because when I ran across the line, I was just happy to beat Tyson. Hey, that was my main goal going there. I didn't care about anything
So it
else.
was just pure competition for you.
It was pure competition for me.
So let me ask you.
And it was a tough race though, because they false started about 3 times in that race.
Yeah.
It was like, go, I'll start. You had to refocus the second time. If the gun had gone clean the second time, it would have been tough. I had a bad start the second one. The second false start, I was like, ooh. Because the second one was bad, and then the third one I got, but the second one was bad.
You lucky, man. Tyson didn't have a good start either.
And this was before they instituted the one false start rule.
Yeah,
so
It was everybody got one at that time. Because everybody had one. And people used it though, man.
They did.
Oh,
somebody else.
God, man.
Yeah.
I hated it so bad. people use that. You know what I mean? Like that one false start, everybody would go one time. Especially the quicker starters would just try to time it.
Nah,
Get the jitters out real quick.
Annoying, man.
we back to you. During this time that happened, this was in your absence. You're watching him. I remember when we started training in 2011, you told me all I want to do is beat Bolt. But you said you were sitting at a bar and you watched the Olympics, not that race, but where were you when he broke the first world record? And what did that do for you, like watching him do that and everything else?
I was training for football, American football. I was getting ready. I was training to be a wide receiver for NFL.
Yeah.
And then I was actually on the field working on routes and everything when I heard that he broke the world record. And I watched it like over and over again. Because at the end of the day, I was like, I think that's where me and him have commonality, is the fact of it's about competition, right? It's about preparing and showing your best because you know that you're going against the best. So when I saw him break the world record, I actually was excited. I was like, this dude really did that thing. He ran 9.72. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it actually motivated me. I had the best practice that day. But it never... I had the best practice that day. But I think what happened is also it ignited a fire into me to be like, do I want to stay in a sport where they look at track and field athletes as one-dimensional, right? Like you could run fast, but could you really catch? Could you run routes? Do you know plays? And it actually started pulling me back towards like, maybe I want to do track and field again. Maybe I want to get back in track again, because it was never about the fact of, once again, breaking records or anything. It was about testing myself against the best. And at that point in time, that's what you saying. He was the best. I was like, man, like I felt like one of those drunk guys you meet in the club. And probably you know this, and be like, man, let's go outside and race right now. I want to see how fast you are.
Pull up.
You probably got that 100 million times.
Easy, all the time, man.
Every time you get met, somebody hit you with that one.
All the time.
So fast forward, right? The Olympics happened, 2008. I don't know if you know you're about to make history, but I mean, watching you do the rounds, I think the world know you're about to make history. You know what I mean? What was that feeling like? Like, when you get through 75% of the race, what made you open your arms and
just happiness, man. Just happiness. I think throughout my time, I wanted to just to win an Olympic medal. It was after that first Olympics when I made a bigger decision, saying, you know what, I would like to do this over and over again. At the start, it was just to win an Olympic medal. You know what I mean? But when you get that rush and that feeling, I'm like, nah, I want to do this again. You know what I mean? But initially, I was just happy. You know what I mean? Because you train, this is the hardest type of train. And remember last year, I missed it. And in my mind, I was ready. So the fact that I won was just mind-blowing. I was just happy. I didn't care. When I saw I was going to win, I was like, I'm going to win. You know what I mean? Exactly. I was just happy. I didn't know what to do. It wasn't like, because initially people were saying, oh, it's disrespectful, to the point where I felt bad. I was like, did I really disrespect these guys? I never wanted to. So I went to a few of them at the time who I was cool. I was like, yo, are we good? And they go, bro, if we won that far, I would have celebrated.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Thing.
That's what they said. You know, bro, if we did the same, I would celebrate it always. And one of the funniest jokes, it was Dick's at the time. I'll never forget. I find this story so funny. We ran the semifinals together, and I ran like 9.8. And I remember he came second, I think. And when we were walking in, he said to me, yo, there ain't gonna be no jogging in the finals. There ain't gonna be no jogging in the finals. And walk past me. You know what I mean? I'm looking at him like, what? You know what I mean? But it was funny because then, no disrespect to him, but I wasn't worried about him.
Yeah.
For me, all it was I need to catch Asafa, because Asafa was the one that was worried. I was like, bro, I'm not worried about you. Because if Asafa gets it right, if he
puts it together,
you're in problems. You know what I mean? So for me, that was the only person I was worried about in that race at that time, because I know like Asafa can get this done. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And if you clear that 65, 70 meter mark and you out there by yourself,
exactly,
you good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
I know if I'm there in the race at 50, I'm gonna win. I know that much because I know my top end is that good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was never worried about running. I always know for you, I watch you throughout the season. I was like, all right, I know. If I know where I'm at in a race, if he gets there, if he's that far, I'm in a lot of problems. I can tell when he gets to a certain distance at the start, if I'm not close enough, I can tell, he's going to get me today.
Your race strategy was to know where everyone was.
I need to get my start right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was my biggest issue. Because in the season, I could tell where I'm at in the season and how good my top end is. So I know if you get a good start on me, I was like, here we go today. I know it's going to be hell. It's going to be hard to catch you because it's not like you decelerate. You don't. You know what I mean? You don't. You know what I mean? And that's one of those things. So I know my competitors. So I know like, it's going to get me today.
Was your competitors
not going to get me.
Something that you studied or it was something that you just viewed and watched their races and be like, hey, coach?
You always watch your competitor. You don't study everything, but we compete. So I know and I take note of small things and different things and I know where your strength is from your weaknesses. You have to know these things.
I hate when athletes be like, I don't even know what they're doing right now.
Exactly.
Come on, bro. If you a elite athlete in that era, you literally watching what your competitors are doing, bro.
You want to know, like, is he in good shape? Oh, am I there? You need to gauge yourself because at the end of the season, the middle of the season, you're going to compete at some point. So you need to gauge where you at, or do I need to do more, or am I where I'm supposed to be? So I'm never going to say, I don't know. No, I watched. You watch race. I don't sit down and break him down, but I watch and say, all right, he's in good shape. I need to get my shit together. You know what I mean? And figure out what I need to do.
So you had, you talked about a little bit about how you made sure in 2008 that you wanted to make sure you cleared Asafa.
Yeah.
So Asafa was basically the focal point of making sure you beat him. What was your relationship like with Asafa at that point in time? And we saw that it grew to a level to where it was definitely mutual respect and some kind of bond. I
think at the start, we were always cool. It was never like, oh man, because we didn't actually go through the youth system together. So I just knew him when I got to the senior level. So I think that's why we developed a relationship over time. Because I met Asafa when I talked to him it was probably 2005 or something like that. It was the first time we really started having conversations and hanging out. And it was one of my friends, Jeremy Mace, who passed away, they were friends. So that's how we became friends. You know what I mean? And then we started talking and it developed over time. But yeah, we're Jamaicans, so we see each other and hang out. So
yeah,
it's a part of the thing.
I mean, we did the pod with him, man, and he spoke very highly of you. And you always in interviews like this, you speak very highly of him. So he was the first athlete to
do it
from home.
Jamaica, yeah, exactly.
And then after 2008, I mean, that kind of transversed all the country's weight to your shoulders. How did it feel to be like, you are Jamaica? Like, I always say this, and I don't know, this might be like a big statement, but like when people think about Jamaica, you think Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey, and now, like, I mean, you may be humble about it, but they think Usain Bolt. They always say you make it when your name is in a rap song, and you're in a few rap songs. They highlight your name a few times in rap songs. How does that feel to be mentioned like
for me, the good thing about it, I started young, so I understood it. I think that's one of the reasons got the best of Asafa a little bit. I started young. So when I was 15, I won in Jamaica. Everywhere I went to Jamaica, people were like, oh, this young kid here. So I was used to it. And when I ran bad, I was used to the backlash also. So I got
a lot of backlash
things from I was
young.
So I understood how it was. You know what I mean? And I kind of figured it out by talking to older people, like, why are they like this? And they're going, bro, that's just Jamaicans. They love you when you're winning. They hate you when you're losing. You know what I mean? So they say.
That sounds like Philadelphia Eagles to me.
Yeah. Fly Eagles fly.
You know what I mean?
Play this weekend.
So that's just one of those things. And for me, it was easy. So when I started when I started 08 and started winning, it was easy because I understood how things worked.
That's crazy, man, carrying the country. Now, after 08, I mean, you hear about the rumors of Justin Gatlin coming back to the track and field. In 05, they say this thing about him spitting in your lane or something like that. Was that true? Did he spit in your lane?
Did I? I don't even know if I did.
It was.
We gonna bring it. We gonna bring it.
I had to really. Listen, I'm watching the documentary thinking like.
It was our first race together. It was in Zagreb. I can never forget.
He ain't never gonna forget it.
I'm listening.
This is our first. But no, I understood why. Remember, Justin was in the era of Maurice Green and all these guys.
Yes.
That's what he's used to. That's a mentality. So when you come back and you see these guys chilling, you don't want to be anybody's friend. You know what I mean? So I got that. You know what I mean? But for me, it was funny because I understood in track and field how it is. I know he's not going to come back and start running fast because it's going to take you a while to get going. So I wasn't worried. You know what I mean? And he just got back and we were running the first race in Zagreb. And I can't never forget. I ran out. I was coming back and he's walking. You know he's walking, he does. And he kind of spat across my lane and I looked up and I smiled because I understood that he's just trying to intimidate me. But I'm like, I'm not worried about you.
So you
right
did
now.
Spit in this man lane.
Yeah.
Listen, bro.
I could never forget, man. It was
So the
Zagreb.
rumor is true.
I could never forget.
Spitting in
It's our
people's
first
lanes.
race
This is
we
crazy.
ever ran together in Zagreb.
I remember the race.
Do you
Yeah.
apologize for spitting?
I apologize.
It's not even anything bad.
No. I
It was
just
just
I do it.
competing.
I do him like that though. I do.
Yeah.
He always hard on me.
Always hard on him
He
though.
my MJ, dog. He keep me grounded.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, is like, I'm so focused.
Yeah.
And I don't even think at that moment I was even thinking about like doing those little petty trickery things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, in that point, I got allergies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly like trying to get my mouth clear so I can go run and my sinuses. I ain't think it was never like like, you know, F Usain Bolt kind of thing. It was the fact I think I was just focused on trying to get ready for my race. But the thing is for me is like, I can say now that I helped contribute to the greatness.
Bro,
So when I saw it on the docu, everybody was like, man, when you said it, people always came back to me and say, how dare you do that to him? I was like, did you do that?
That's what
I'm
people
like,
do.
bro, I
Yes,
ain't
bro.
no idea.
They did.
yo,
They was like, you
people,
so
relax,
disrespectful.
people. Relax. It's competitive. Relax. It's not that serious. No, let me say something, bro. We're here. I say this many times. If you see my interviews, I always say this. You're one of the greatest persons I've ever competed with. My coach told me from the start, this is so respectful and my coach knows you. He told me, listen, one guy is going to show up. It's going to be Justin. That's what he says.
Yeah.
When you just came back and we're going to start our first competition, get into it, he said, listen to me. If one guy in that race, if there's 50 people, if there's one guy who's going to be ready, it's Justin Gatlin. That's the respect my coach has for you. He knows that when it's time to go, you're always going to be ready. He said that to me. He's like, you're the only two persons I see that, no matter what's going on, when it's time to compete, he's never seen like we go, oh, we're not ready or not show up. We're always ready to go when the time matters. So just know that's what my coach put in my mind. And when my coach says something, I believe it. You know what I mean? And then competing with you throughout the years, I had to respect it, you know what I mean? Because you always show up. You mean he's never like, oh, he's not at his game today or he's not showing up. He's never that. You know what I mean? So for me, much respect, man. I can say that in front of your face. I always say it though.
I appreciate
You know what I mean?
Another rumor that never came to pass that a lot of people would love to see. Wallace spoke about it a lot, but we're going to hear it from you. They said there was a huge fear of a phenom back then in Xavier Carter. If Xavier could continue his
I saw it. I saw the clip. I saw the clip. Yo, it was so true. I laughed so hard.
It was true.
I was watching it. Yo, it was so funny. Bro, me and Wallace are friends. Like, he's the only like athlete that we're like friends.
Look, he calls you Huyo. He doesn't even call you Usain. So I know from that, y'all got to be friends.
So we always hang out and chat and eat food together. So for me, when we were running, it's actually true. I didn't say all of that, what he said in the middle of the race, but I did say, yo, I'm catching you. I did say that. You know what I mean? But for me, he was pissed. He was pissed at it. He came up to me like, yo, don't ever do that shit again. I was like, bro, cool. I was just having fun, you know what I mean? Because I've never really, because the one time I ran with him, it was 2007, and he got me. And I never got a chance to run with him in the relay again. So I was happy that I actually got the chance. It was the same year. He beat me. We got second to the US that year in 2007. It was me and him on the backstretch that competed on the backstretch. And
Osaka.
he got the best, he got the best of me. So when I got the chance to compete after the season, for me, that was good. But the story about Xavier, bro, is it hurt me to the core up to this day because I never got a chance to beat him back. I never got a chance to the core, bro.
To this day.
Yeah.
To this day.
I'll never forget. We came back from the championship and he goes, bro, Xavier been here for a couple of weeks training. He's ready. And he said to me, yo, you're tired. And I go, nah, I'm good. He goes, you don't know you're tired, but you're tired. And I go, nah, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. And I'm going, cool. And I pull up in the race. I'm running, and I'm like, oh, shit, I am tired. You know what I mean? Because you can tell your body's not giving
when you hit that, try to hit that gear, and that gear ain't
I'm
gear
trying to
right.
go when my body's like, nah. I came off, and I was running, and I was like, whatever. And then he goes, I'm like, what the hell? I was pissed. And then the next race, I decided, yo, I'm not running because I'm dead. And I went to him, I was like, yo, better, hey, if you don't beat him, I'm gonna kick your ass. I told him, I was like, bro,
Wallace,
you don't beat Wallace. If you don't beat Xavier, I'm gonna kick your ass.
You grabbed him by the jersey.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I was like, bro, you better beat him. But I was pissed, bro. And I never get to race him after that. Never. He beat me the last time. I was pissed.
We trying to find where Xavier is, man.
I'll pull up now.
But listen, we've been trying to find him for a while because we always say, and I met Xavier, we've all met him at like different phases of his career.
Yeah.
And we always say he's probably one of the most talented athletes that never was.
Yeah,
which is crazy. It's very, very sad. But like, if anybody could link us with Xavier, man, please do.
It was going to be solid.
Yeah, man, shoot. Especially what he did at NCAAs winning with something rare. The boy won the 100 and the 400 at NCAAs. Speaking of that, right? We ask a lot of the athletes who, you were one who actually went pro straight from out of high school. If you were to go to college in the U.S., what college you think you would have ended up at?
No, anywhere that's warm. That's the reason I didn't even think about going to college overseas, though. Because for me, remember, I was young. I'm from the country. I didn't travel a lot. So I was really close with my mom. I was like, I'm not leaving my mom. You know what I mean? I want to be close. I'm the only child for my mom. So I was really tight to my mom. I was like, yo, so I got the opportunity to stay. I was like, because we got a lot of offers. You know what I mean? But
where?
Let's remember right now.
Some of these schools, their ADs may be on them like, we could have had you stay at the school.
I don't remember, but I don't think the college system wasn't good for Jamaicans. I think if you got a scholarship, if you got the reason Veronica made it out, because a lot of these schools ran you hard. And I think if you watch a lot of these athletes that went to college, they came pro and it wasn't the same. Veronica made it out because Veronica got a contract from Adidas while she was in college. So she could pick and choose where she was going to compete. But when you have a scholarship, you just got to go run 100%. All the time. Yeah. And what I heard, I don't know, is that there's a lot of different levels that you have to run every weekend. Yes. There's a championship here, there's this here, there's that here. So you run your body so hard, and then you got to try to go into the championship now. And
senior
hard.
champs and
exactly.
everything.
In the college ranks, if you are a sprinter, you have to be prepared to read run the 1-2, 4x1, 4x4.
Exactly.
That is going to be your resume almost every weekend,
and that's crazy.
week out.
So I think that messed up a lot of Jamaicans who went over there. You know what I mean? So I was lucky that they just then, Asafa, I think Asafa really helped that because Asafa started training in Jamaica with Frano and he broke the world record. So they were like, oh shit, we can stay. So that's how that's how it actually began. Because if it wasn't for Asafa, we probably would have left like everybody else.
Yeah. So now you have start to rise to the arrival of Bolt, right?
Hold on, you got to tell him how you had to re-look him up because you thought his name was Usain Russell, and then you was like, you was like, there's no way this dude is winning all these races and his name really is Bolt.
It was just so coincidental and convenient. I was like, listen, this man is fast as hell. He fast as lightning. And his last name Bolt. I was like, man, he's destined to be.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe it though. People ask, oh, so what's your real name? I go, Usain Bolt. And they go, Bolt is the actual last name. I was like, yeah. Because people felt like it was a nickname that people gave me.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, it's my actual last name. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought that. A lot of people thought
they
it
were
was
like, nah, but what's your real name?
Yeah, exactly. Nah. What's your real name?
It has to be destined to be, man. Yeah. Especially after I watch your 2013 finish, and Rich Justin is in the background with the lightning bolt with you coming through the finish line. I was like, bro, that was a
sick picture. Got lucky.
Crazy picture. Yeah. So in my head, I was like, nah, you were born to be who you are. It destiny happened that way.
I feel like that was one of my favorite races to be in with you because it was like the setup was so, it was about to be epic, right? Because it was like, we in the warm-up area and the wind starts kicking up and like the tent start rattling and like we the last ones to check in. Yeah. As soon as we check in, like the clerks just pack up all their shit and just get the hell out of there. Yeah. Like this So we get to the line and it ain't the same rules like in America. Like they weren't stopping nothing. Like it was lightning, it was storming. Like you running like this because like the rain is on your eyes. And that's what
this is going off. They're like, this is going off.
Yeah.
Like this is going. That's what I'm saying. In the US, they would have stopped. They're like, nah, you can't run. They're like, nah. Let's get this going. You know what I mean?
This is the land of the lawsuits.
Let me say something. Let me say something. I watched a podcast after the last race with the guys, and I hear you guys really think that's the best 100 meters ever.
Which one?
The last.
Oh, he didn't.
I heard you guys.
You didn't flip.
I heard you guys. I'm curious.
On us.
I'm curious. Because I hear you guys. Oh, this is the best one. Yeah, people are saying that, but do you really think after what we performed in 2012?
Like I said, this is what I say, right? Average wise, the people are right? It is the fastest race in history by average, but Asafa throws that average off because he's injured, right? he does. Think about it. If he doesn't finish, we are okay. But like because he finished in such a slow time because of his injury, it throws the average of that race off.
On a technicality.
On a technicality, I still believe 2012
that's what I'm
is
saying.
one of the best races ever.
The lineup in that race.
It's unheard of.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
It's what 4 Americans and
when you get that, just everybody in that race.
Yes.
When you look at any of the
accolades
sports,
and the level that we're at.
Tyson, Usain, Justin, Safa, that's already 4 of your top 5
I'll
all
give it to
time.
you like this. I give it to you like this. When you look at any other sport, right? The greatness of those sports, NBA, NFL, like they're in generations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan didn't play with LeBron. You see what I'm saying? And Kobe played some with LeBron, right? But the fact of our lineup we were all in the same generation, bro, and we lined up at the same time. That was the most epic race when it came to legacy, for sure. Time-wise, I can understand where you're coming from when it came to like numbers.
No, statistically.
Right?
Statistically.
But the fact of, I don't think you'll ever replicate that race ever again in life.
Not the top five men in history were in that race.
Yeah.
And
no one in that race would have gotten the medal.
Yeah, no, when you think about it, yes. 7-9 was bronze, which was Justin.
Yeah.
So 7'9" would actually won. You would actually have got bronze.
No, they wouldn't have catch him.
Technically,
They wouldn't
I
have
was
catch
like
him.
9.7.1.
Now you know they gonna fact check us.
You can fact check it all you want. I'm gonna stand on business, and I'm gonna tell you right now. If I lined up with him at that point in time, I would have won that.
Justin, they wouldn't have catch you in the first place. They would have been chasing tails, man. They wouldn't have catch him.
That's crazy.
Come on.
I know. I don't have that as the best race.
In 2012, I was right beside him. When the gun went, I felt like he just took a step. He was one step ahead of me as soon as the gun went. And I'm like, how is this even possible? If I wasn't it's good thing I'm mentally tough, because if you're not mentally tough and you see that as a person, your body is broken immediately. The first step, bro, he's a step in front of me as soon as the gun goes. Not half a step, a full step.
Listen,
in front of me.
I'm already at 45 meters going into 50 meters, and I can see that I'm leading. I'm already thinking about how I'm going to celebrate if I win this race. And then the next thing I know is I see black and green on my left and black and green on my right, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, because this ain't about to become a victory lap.
So now he talked to me when he got back. Like, he would always call me back here in the States or whatever. And after that race, he said he saw you and Johan doing this thing where y'all in the woman barrel, y'all hit 50 meters and then y'all go fast. And he said he didn't know what that was until he was at 50 meters and then he saw y'all go fast. And he was like, bro, that's what that was. And I said,
no lie. I'm sitting on the other side of the track and I'm like, I got my hands on my waist and I'm watching y'all do some warm-ups. So like, they're going a little faster after 50 meters and they warm-ups. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what they do. And then we got in the race. And afterwards at the race, I was like, okay, that's it now.
Coach always let us do that. We do it on the fly. Like, he marks 20 meters or 30 meters or how long he wants us. And then you go, and then when you hit, you got to change gear. So it's a thing that we practice in training. Boom, hit, go fast. And then you got to find that extra gear in between that 20, 30 meters to go. It was crazy.
Not like, I hope they going to take this clip. Now you're going to see everybody in the woman barrier setting up 30 meters. you know, track is the copycat league now. And you be like, you're going to be at the woman barrier, you're going to be like, that's not how he did it. Oh, all right.
Nah, I was, in that race though, I was happy. I was so happy. They put everybody on my left. It's like, because I look around. I tend to look around. So I was like, I don't have to look right. All I have to do is check left.
All of you.
Everybody was on my left. I was like, yes, everybody's on my left. I don't have to look right once. So I was like, I was gone, bro. When I caught them, I was like, and I messed up because I maybe would have gotten that world record that day. But I messed up because I was running. I tell you, I never think about world records. So I'm running, and when I got there, I looked across, I was like, all right, I got them. You know what I mean? And then like at the last minute, I was like, shit, world record. And I started leaning too early because as soon as it clicked, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh shit. I was like, and then I kind of messed up. My coach was like, yeah, so stupid.
Yeah.
Coach like, what was that? He was like, yo, what was that?
You leaned with a
like,
63, bro.
I was leaning way too early. You know what I mean?
Puma
so
didn't want that.
I slowed down a little bit. So it was crazy though.
You saved Puma some money because that was a bonus. That was a bonus.
They didn't want that.
They was in the box like, yeah, okay, we ain't got to pay him that bonus. Jeez, this boy keep breaking world records. Jeez. Shoot.
I bet Puma loves you at the same time, but you, boy, like, bonuses after bonuses, rollovers after rollovers, though.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
Yeah. You know what I wanted to ask you? Whatever happened to the gear? Was that just like a year of the Bolt where like Puma came out with the gear with the sign on it, or
no? It just happened. It was 2008,
and then they just discontinued
I
it.
did that, and it just. Oh, you mean after?
Yeah, like they used to have it on shirts and like people's gear. I remember hearing like a lot of Puma dudes who were running for Puma. It was like, bro, they got us wearing this. And this dude was still competing.
Wait,
so it was like the Jordan brand. Like you competing against Jordan. Jordan still
I try to push
playing.
It. You know, companies are, man. I try to push it because I was excited now. I could probably start shoes and you know what I mean? Because this was a brand now. You know what I mean? So, but the company didn't help to push it. You know what I mean? It's something that I wanted, but you know, you're like, oh, we're trying to sell T-shirts. And so they just focus on just Puma,
Hey,
you know
man,
what I
you
mean?
be like Tiger Woods, man. Start your own brand.
I wish we understood all these things
back then.
You know what I mean?
Hey, get the to the worlds.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro.
So
it would have been big.
You just said that. You said the to the world, right?
Yeah.
The move it was just on the spot, or is it something you made
happened.
up?
It was just something that happened. Yeah.
And you was like, boom.
So I used to love, well, I still love dancing, but I used to dance a lot back in the days. You know what I mean? As a vibe. And there was a dance called To the World, and this girl, she's a big dancer, and she was always showing me moves, and we would vibe. And she was the one that said to me, yo, if you win, you should dance. You know what I mean? It's a vibe, and do a pose. And that's how something that was in my mind. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this pose. Because when it started, initially it was over my head like this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At the start, because it was just random. It wasn't like something that I practiced. It was like, I'm going to do a move. And that's what I came up with.
Then you brought it down.
What I mean? It was way over my head. And then I was like, you know what? I adjusted it a little bit because it looks better. You know what I mean?
Bro, y'all killed the game. Like, you brought so much life to track and field and celebration. Not even after a race, but even start at the starting line, bro.
But he looks forward to seeing what's going to happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think in our sport that showmanship is definitely should be a thing. They treat our sport more like it should be so diplomatic when it shouldn't be. It's an entertainment sport. I mean, Maurice Green showed us that with the
exactly.
With the
That's
fire
what I'm
extinguisher.
saying.
People
Maurice
love that.
Green, Maurice Green really showed up.
Yeah,
he was good,
and you took it to the next level.
It was just me being me, man. I just enjoyed competing and having fun. You know what I mean? And just doing me all the time. So it was something that I enjoy doing.
So I feel like you had certain gestures that meant certain things, right? You be at the starting line. You know what I'm saying?
That's something that was from Fast and the Furious. You remember Vin Diesel when Walker was with his they were at the train line, when they were ready for train line, and he was like with his turbo, and he was like, and the car was shaking, and he went, you know what I mean? That was one, and he goes, small. It was actually when they were racing to get the other two cars back and forth, and he was like, and the guy was like, small engine. So that's what I got that from. So he's like, it's something that we picked up. So it was something that I do. So I do things that people might know, or if I know this place like this, like in England, I did the Queen's Wave. Mm-hmm. So it's just a vibe. It just depends on my energy and where I'm at. I try to find something that they would like.
That's definitely dope. That's definitely dope.
I mean, it was contagious. He had everybody doing it. I mean, even to this day, you watch a lot of runners. They do a lot of the different gestures. They even do a lot of gestures that you did in the past. Yeah, you inspired mine at the beginning of my races as well.
But enjoy. I think I should just enjoy it, man. Yeah. It's competition. And it also helped me to relax and not think about anything. The one time I wasn't myself, I false started. The one season I wasn't myself, bro, I false started because I was so focused on my start. Like, oh my God, did you get my start?
2011.
Yeah, and I false started.
So what made you feel like you were so nervous? Because you 2011, bro.
All right. It was the easiest race, bro, but I got into my own head. It was one of the easiest races I would have ever gotten in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because I showed up when the season, I was on par, bro. I'm telling you. You thought all the seasons were good? That season, we were running quick, easy. And one day I just felt like a little, like, almost like something kind of
like a twinge,
and I couldn't figure out what it was. And the next day I came to training, I couldn't even warm up. I was in so much pain. And I could not figure out what was wrong. I went to the doctor in Germany, he couldn't figure out what was wrong. And it took us a while to figure out that my ankles now were locked. So I could get no push. I was slow. So no matter how much, I couldn't get that flex to push myself off. So when we finally figured it out and we came down, now I was like, oh, am I ready? So I was in my own head, you know what I mean? Because for the whole season, I was struggling. So that's something that always plays on my mind. And then I showed up, all started. People are like, oh, you shouldn't have taken it. And we found out, the craziest thing, I found out after that Daniel Bailey actually had a faster false start than me. So he actually went first.
Well, he should have
So
went out.
maybe if I didn't take my shirt off, you would have looked and saw and said, you know what, Daniel Bailey, you're out. You got lucky.
I said that all the time, bro. I said, I feel like Daniel moved a little bit before you.
Yeah.
But I commend you because at that point in time, you had so much influence and power in the sport. If you just walk back and be like, if you did one of these, like, noise in the stadium, or if you did like block slips, they would have cleared it.
True.
You'd have been back in the game. But the fact is,
I didn't want.
You had so much accountability, bro. That was cool.
I didn't want that, bro. Khalil like I was like, bro, I'm getting out.
So classy about you, bro. Like it's so crazy because you could take the easy route so many times. And the time when Justin came back, man, the whole world was against him, talking crazy and everything else. And you would not jump on the banter of like stepping on them, demoralizing them, or anything like that, especially in London where they love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you did it in London, they would have just been right behind you like, you know what I mean? So I always like, bro, it's just so easy for him to just agree and give a soundbite of,
for me,
I don't know.
You have to understand, bro, it's competitors. We're in this spot together. In life, nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. So he's back now and he's like, yo, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to roll. You know what I mean? And I'm excited too. I was excited because, as I said, my coach told me from the start, like, hey, this guy's going to show up. So be ready. So I was excited to compete. And he kept it. Like 6 years we were doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just every year. There was no let up. I couldn't miss a day. You know what I mean? So for me, it was one of the best times and I really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Tyson was 2 years, Asafa was a 1 year, Blake was a 1 year, but me and Justin have been going at it for years, you know what I mean? So for me, it was great to have a competitor that you can compete and know is going to keep you on top of your game. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you for that, man, because the influence that you had at that point in time, you could easily just had a soundbite in an interview and said, nah, I don't want to race against him.
Yeah.
And you literally could have ended my career like at that point in time. And man, it meant so much to me that I think from that situation, I wanted to give you my best. I wanted to be able to say, if he's going to beat me, he has to beat me at his best. You know what I mean?
Which interview did we have? I remember. The last one. And the people came, I was like, what's happening here?
17.
They came out of the blocks the first question. And I was like, I had to stop. I was like, nah, I'll get this one. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the first question as we sat down, it was that. I was like, no, I was like, I answer this one. You know what I mean? And she kept on talking. I was like, nah. I had to tell her, like, no.
Man,
respect us, man.
Class.
You know what I mean?
Act, man.
Yeah.
Show us some respect. We just won, bro. At least wait until a few questions goes off. You know what I mean? She was the first question. Like crazy, man.
Yeah, you did that, man. I really appreciate that. Even throughout, like I said, throughout the career, me coming back into the sport, like all you cared about was high competition.
Yeah.
And if I gave it, you was like,
I'm ready.
Bring it.
I'm ready. And you never missed a day. You never took a day off.
Nah,
you never took a day off.
It's crazy because I remember the first time, I don't know if you remember, or you probably might remember. I remember the first time when you beat him in 13. And you came back and you were so happy, but he told me a story. It was like, man, we was leaving. He told me good job, but he said you was walking out with your agent or your manager,
Ricky, yeah.
And he was like, "We'll never let this happen again."
I was like, that ain't gonna happen again. No, that's just me. That's what I always say to people. When they beat me, I always say that. Because when I lost to Blake at the championship
in 12,
in 2012, I hugged him. I was like, bro, this will never happen again. Yeah. I said this to him. I hugged him. I was like, yo, this will never happen again. I didn't even see when he did that initially. It was after I went and I watched over everything. I was like, nah, Blake, you're losing your mind, bro. You're losing your mind. What? What?
Yo, I was like, yo, I saw it. I was like, yo, what's going on? I was like, oh man, it's about to be. You about to activate the big man? Now, what you doing?
Bro. I was like, for that month, because we had 1 month to the Olympics after that. I had one more race in Monaco. I canceled that shit. I was like, nah.
Train like a
the guy, yo, they would have gave me so much money to come. The guy kept up the money. Every day Ricky called me like, yo, add more money to it. I was like, nah, I'm not going. Stop calling me. I'm gonna train for this month. I can't. You must be crazy. You know what I mean? Bro, I probably could have broken the world record again. I ran closer. Yeah. I didn't give a shit. I just wanted to beat him. You know, the saw me crossing the line like, yo, yeah, chill out, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was so, I never do shit. You see, after I did push-ups and everything. Yeah. I was so pissed. Bro. But
I knew it was coming, though. I knew it was coming. I was like, this about to wild out, dog.
Yeah, I did push-ups after that shit. I get up and, I'm screaming shit. Yeah. I was wilding, bro. I was vexed.
Yeah, that's
just like with Xavier, bro. And that's why I'm upset that I didn't get a chance to be Xavier.
To this day.
You know what I mean? Because when you do shit, I'm like, nah, bro, celebrate cool. But when you seem like you have something planned, like you're ready to go, like, nah. I don't mind you celebrating shit. You know what I mean? It's cool. You know what I mean? But when you gonna
like they practice in the hotel
exactly.
room.
Like, I'm gonna beat him and this is all I'm gonna do.
You saying looking at him like he looked like he rehearsed that. Though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that reminds me. 2015 World Relays Bahamas.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I know what he's going
to one. Come across the line, right?
Yeah.
Your boy Ryan Bailey hits the move, right?
Yeah.
Just hit the
right? Then did it to the world, bro.
Oh boy.
I was like, what?
I'm on the backstretch because I finished running the second leg. I'm on the backstretch and I see him do it. I was like, no. Don't do it. You're on the list now.
Like,
you're on
the list now.
Yeah, you're on the list now.
All right, kid.
Yeah.
All right, kid. All right. This is what we doing. All right.
I remember standing there after got off the podium, man.
Yeah.
You was cool with it.
Yeah.
You put your arm around him and say, hey, man, don't you ever disrespect me like that ever again.
Don't ever do that again,
ever
bro.
Again, dog.
Don't ever do that again, bro. Because I was like, what? You gonna hit my like, cool. All right, well done. Then you're gonna hit my pose? Like, bro, what are we doing? I was like, all right, respect. I'm gonna catch you.
The whole country of Jamaica, the whole internet
hated. He immediately got hated, bro.
What?
No, listen.
Immediately. You got a #1 hit list.
Them boys in the Bahamas, like in Jamaican boy, they were trying to find him out. And he like had to go into hiding. Like
coincidentally, he ran at Jamaica that same season.
Yeah.
He was ducking and dodging. He was high behind, high jump hits and everything, bro. Yeah, man. To be honest, bro, I really felt like that ended his career. He was never right again after that, bro. He never ran again.
Bro, it's crazy to do that.
Speaking of that, in 15, shoot, I think y'all got to be talking at the same time.
I really want to talk about this.
Let's do it.
I'm like, I have to say, so I'll never forget, man. 15, same year, I was struggling. To get into shape. I got injured. I was struggling to get back into shape. And no matter how much I run, when I finally got good and started training, it was so close. I was like, I'm not going to get enough races because I was in shape, but I needed races to get into the race.
Rhythm, yeah.
Because he was running 9.7s every day, bro.
We saw your interview, and you was like, I think you was on to the night show or anything, and they was like, Justin Gatlin's doing very well. You was like, yeah. I don't need him to feel me until it's time.
Yeah. I'm just talking shit. Yeah. I'm talking shit, bro.
He's like, I don't need him to feel me until it's time.
I wasn't close to being ready. So I got like 2 races before. I was like, yo, this is not, and coach was like, we have to use the rounds to try to run ourselves into shape. And I was so focused. I was like, you just need to focus on your start. If you can get your start, you have a chance. You have a chance if you get your start. And I remember semifinals, I was thinking about that so much. I stumbled out the blocks and I had to chase.
And you had the grass and you had Trayvon in your race.
I had to chase them down like, Yeah. And when I got to them, I was like, what are you doing, bro? And I remember I was talking to my agent walking back. And I remember my coach, as he saw me, called me. He's like, yo, come here. What's happening? was like, coach, I was my start, but he's like, yo, forget the start. You know what I mean? You've been here too many times to be worried about your start. But the fact is, I know that I wasn't in the best shape. I need to get myself into running shape. So I'm like, yo, I know Justin's going to get out. And if he gets out for me, I'm definitely going to catch him. As I said, I know where I needed to be and what shape I was in. And I was like, yo, it's crazy. And I was stressed. But when my coach talked to me, he kind of calmed me down. And I'll never forget this. This is my first time. And this is how I know he was nervous. Throughout the years of competing, Justin has never said anything to me before a championship. Never. He has never said anything to me. And we're in the warm-up here. We're in the call room. And he's like, I'm here. And he's like 2 chairs down. I don't remember what he said. Like you said, yo, you ready to go? I don't remember what he said. And I looked at him like, huh? I was surprised because I didn't expect him to say that. I was like, yeah, cool. And then he said something else to me. And I was like, and I thought about it. I was like, shit. He's nervous. Yeah. and that helped because now I know he's nervous. I'm nervous. Because remember, I'm running shit all season. And then he's talking to me. I was like, nah. He got some nerves here because now this is the first time I've ever been in the season and I'm the one doing the chasing. We're always either together or he's chasing me. This is the first season I'm the one chasing him. You know what I mean? So when he was talking to me, I was like, he's nervous. And that's what helped me a little bit because now I'm like, all right, calm down. If he's nervous, we're good. We're both on the same playing field right now.
See, if you'd have watched the documentary like I told you, he said that in the documentary. He looked and he was like, I got him.
I was like, I didn't say I got him, but I was like, yo, this is good. Because if he's nervous, I'm nervous. This is good. You know what I mean? Because if he was confident in going in there like, oh, this is like his normal days, I would have been in trouble. There's no lie. But he was nervous. I was like, right. We're good. We're good. That gave me a little bit more confidence going.
Listen, you know what put me in that situation? As soon as I walked into the warm-up area for the day of the finals, everyone was coming up to me like, good luck, good luck, good luck. And I never been, you know how long it's been since I've been in the seat to where you're poised to win, right?
Exactly.
I started thinking, in the warm-up area, I was like, people ain't telling me this since 05. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then I'm thinking, like, as I'm warming up, I'm like, all right, just keep warm, keep maintaining. Yeah. And then when we got in there, I was like, damn, like, it's foreign to me. It's foreign. And then that's why I was like, let me check and see where Bolt at. Hey, you ready?
But, bro, I was nervous because I knew from years of competing with him, his start is going to be immaculate. You know what I mean? He didn't get that good of a start that race. To me, it was average. It wasn't his normal Justin start.
You know why? Because I had to give so much in the damn semis because of Mike Rogers. Remember?
Yeah, you ran.
In the semis. And he wouldn't back off, so I had to run 977 semis. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah, it's true. He ran you good. No, but I remember in that race, man, when I popped, I was like, shit, I'm still in the race. Because normally, you're always out there. I could see you. You know what I mean? And then, after like 50, me and you kind of went and pull away. And all I'm thinking is like, time this dip right. Just time it. And we're running and running. And then I saw you start losing. I was like, oh shit. I was like, time it right. That's all I'm telling myself. Because if I started leaning early, I'm going to be in trouble also. I was like, time it right. And I just leaned at the right time. When you lost it, bro, I was like,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Because the look in your face when you crossed that finish line,
I wasn't happy. You know, you saw my face.
Yeah, you looked at me, it was like, the look in your face was like, bro, you had this.
I was like, whoa. You know?
You had this.
I was like, woo. I was happy because I won, but I know it was like, I was just lucky. Yeah. It just worked out perfectly. I don't know if we had ran through line, how it would have gone.
Yeah.
But it wasn't dominant for me to say, yo, I got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my normal victory. Now I was like, I didn't even really celebrate, bro.
I wanted the finish line to come as quick as possible, bro. And I started swimming towards the finish line. Yeah. I was like, please. And then you kept stepping. I was like, no.
Yeah, because I keep telling myself, when I saw it, I was like, just time this right. Don't lean. Now, You know what I mean? I watched you all the way to the finish line. After like 70, I was watching you. Because I was like, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And then I saw you start losing. I was like, oh shit. I was like, come on, Hugo. Focus, lean. And I got it. But I couldn't even celebrate because it was so tight. It still was so close. I was like, yo. But for me, bro, that was the race.
It was crazy. Statistically,
race,
and I told Justin this, that's the first time in history he's ever ran slower in a semifinal than a final.
Yeah.
He's always
progressed.
Progressed.
So right into the line.
And his 77 would have won that world championships because you won with 79, which is crazy. So
as soon as I got back to the warm area, the first person that comes up to me is actually Mike Rogers' coach, D2.
Yeah.
And he was so apologetic. He was like, I don't know why Mike did that. I don't know why he trying to run so fast in semis, man. I'm sorry, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I forgot about that though.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I actually tell that in a lot of speaking engagements I do now. I say, if I stay poised and not worried about ego and just let it happen in the semis where it's supposed to be,
good.
I would have had energy for the finals. I was like, but I was too focused on trying to always be fast. I was like, damn.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
What was your strategy throughout the years, racing against Justin? Like, I noticed you did
in the best shape of my life. that's yo, just be the best shape of my life.
Be in the best shape of my life,
no,
boy.
bro,
You crazy?
You don't understand this, bro. I keep telling you from the start. My coach told me Justin is always going to be ready. So every year I'm like, yo, I need to be in the best shape of my life to make sure I can beat this guy. You know what I mean? If I'm not in the best shape, I'm gonna lose.
And that's all I really wanted, bro. Especially as we started battling through the years, I was like, I need this to be like a Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying, Joe Frazier, epic kind of like battle. You know what I'm saying? I need the world to realize like these two dudes are going at it, like slugging it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted from us.
Did though, man. We did that.
But no, y'all listen, people miss. When you look at comments on a lot of like all the races that are now, it's so crazy how much fans miss the going back and forth of YouTube, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking to, maybe we could have a future event if the numbers are right of a rematch.
Nah, man, Justin is he's in too good of a shape, bro. I see him doing starts all the time. I asked him the other day, I texted him, I was like, bro, why are you in such a good shape? Like,
he said, why?
Like, why?
Why? Like, you know we don't have to do this no more.
Bro? I see my Asafa doing proper workouts. I'm like, what's happening? I was like, the other day, I was like, nah, I need to get back in the gym. I can't let these guys look much better than me.
So you're telling me if a sponsorship came with the right numbers for a rematch between you, Justin, and Asafa and Tyson, and say like,
I'm ready,
final line.
I'm ready, just for the fun of it. I'm ready. Let's go. It'll be fun, man.
Y'all hit that sponsor? Y'all hit up Puma?
It'll be fun.
Puma,
it'll be fun
Red Bull,
to do something.
You know what I mean? Anybody who else who want to be involved, Energizer Bunny, y'all want to sponsor this thing? Listen, water, Gatorade, listen, they ready.
I think the fact of not even just show it as that, but like for all of us to be able to document us getting back into some kind of shape.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna be in the shape we was before.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
No. The time is not gonna matter.
Bro,
and it ain't gonna be 100.
This is all the
we're gonna shorten it down.
It's true. If they follow you throughout the fitness to get back into shape, that would be cool.
Yeah,
that'll be a proper documentary you put together.
Give y'all about 9 months.
You know what I mean?
9 months.
Yeah.
9 months.
That's what I'm saying.
adequate.
And the fact that we all fathers too now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I think it'll be a cool career.
The people that have y'all kids out there, man, I think it'll be a definite good event. I think it'll be good for our culture, man. I mean, I think I was telling them this the other day. I was like, man, to see him and Asafa and to see like you and him hanging out, like I think we the only sport to where you don't see the greats like chilling together, like you know what I mean. Like it would be nice to see like I don't know, I ain't calling nobody out like Michael and Carl chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or,
those
you know
guys,
what I mean? Just
those guys were vicious back in the day.
Which is true. But then you know what's crazy? They cool with us like. We hang out with Linford Christie all the time, and he hang with us like he our age, like which is crazy. You know what I mean? So is I definitely think like we got to see more of that in track and field. You know, Fred, when he was hanging with us together, it was definitely good. You know what I mean? So like seeing this is what the culture needs, man. So that's why like when you told us that you would get on and whatever, I was like, man,
I wanted to do this.
And that was one of my goals, bro.
I wanted to do it. I saw it. I was like, you know what? I'd love to say some things in front of him and talk about the times, you know what I mean? So it was cool.
Is there any questions you want to ask him that you might not have known about him?
Nah, just do you remember? The only thing I want to say, do you remember what I said to you after 2017 when you won?
Yeah, I do.
The world want to know.
Listen, I was happy. You know what I mean? I was, because to let the young cat win, oh man.
You didn't want Coleman to win?
No. He's just out of college,
He
bro.
just was out of college for real.
He just got out of college.
Listen,
I hugged him. I was like, bro, so happy that you won. I couldn't manage for this young kid to win.
Listen, he tell me the story all the time. It's like, in December, he was like, when you saw the veracity of Coleman, the young Coleman, he's like, man, Bolt was like, man, is this cat for real?
Yeah.
And he was like,
no, because
he the real
remember,
deal.
he's good at starts. And Coleman is way better than him.
Yeah.
That guy's start is ridiculous, man. When he got out, he was like 5 meters in front of me before I even got up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't supposed to be there though. I told people I don't talk about this a lot. But when I got to, because that was the year my friend died.
Oh yeah, we
you know
do
what
remember
I mean?
that. Yeah.
And I didn't run. I told my coach, like, I don't want to run at 200. The only thing I want to do is 100. Because I wanted to retire after the Olympics. It was all the sponsors and everybody like, no, it's London. You should come to London. So I was like, Coach, all right, I'll come. I told everybody, all right, I'll come. I'll do London. But I was like, Coach, I'm only doing 100 meters. I'm not doing no 200 meters. So I didn't do 200 meter background. I only did the 100 meters. So I didn't have a lot of background. So when my friend died in, I think it was April, bro, for 2 months, I was out of it. You know what I mean? So when every year I go to my doctor first and he would check me out and tell me like, oh, you're good, or no, you need to do this or whatever. And when I went there, he's like, bro, don't go. And I was like, nah, I have to go. Everybody's expecting me to show up. You know what I mean? And he goes, if you go, you're going to get injured. He's like, you're not fit. You're not ready. You can run, but I can't promise you're not going to get injured. You know what I mean? So when I show up, I was like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? I was just mental strength. That was what I had. You know what I mean? But when as you said, the semifinals, when I ran the Coleman, I was like, God damn, this guy is sick. You know what I mean? This young kid. So when I didn't even know you won.
Yeah.
It was when you
we were so far apart from each other. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. I was happy, bro. I was happy. Like, bro, there's no way for me to be comfortable with Coleman winning after the rival we had. And then at the end, this young kid beat both of us. Nah.
That's good perspective, though.
Yeah.
That is definitely good perspective.
I rather him. I
why.
said, when he came, I hugged him. I was like, bro, congratulations, bro. And I'm happy you won. We couldn't have let this young kid beat us. And he goes, yeah.
Now, you told him what you told him. Did he tell you why he paid homage to you? And how did you feel about that? You know, in that moment.
I don't think we had that conversation.
No, we never had that conversation. It was so spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because, you know, when in those situations, you be like, man, if I ever get a chance to beat Bolt in the championship, what am I going to do? What kind of pose? What am I going to do? Am I jumping the crowd? I'm going to do whatever. And I realized in that moment, you gave me so much growth as an athlete and a human. And then I knew that was your last race. I was like, man, appreciate you. Thank you, bro.
That, man. Trust me.
And
me.
What'd you feel? Because like it always
was
a still
shocked,
photo of you.
I
Like,
was
what this dude doing?
He always told me why he did it.
Bro,
listen, he just told you halfway through the interview, you could have broken him so many times just because where you were in the sport, ended his career.
I mean, it was a joy.
By letting him live, and this is what he said to me. I mean, how he articulated it to me. He's like, bro, by that man, he said, I've been in that spot before, so I know what that feels like. I know what kind of power you have. And he was like, for that man to never really say anything, he said, I want to pay him the utmost, highest respect in his last race ever. Mm-hmm. And that's how he translated. And I thought you told him that. I thought, but anyway, he told you now. He told you.
Bro, that's mad as shit. But I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed every moment. have to understand that this is what kept me at the eye level. You know what I mean? Competition. If there's no competition, my level goes. So for me, it was always like, I need to be ready. I need to be, as I told you, you just asked, bro, what was my mindset or what my motivation? I have to be fit. You know what I mean? Because I know he's going to be ready. He's going to show up. I was never worried about him over 200 meters.
Oh yeah,
that's 100%. One thing I have to say.
We literally had this conversation. We just sitting over there waiting on you.
We just literally have this conversation, right? What puts you in rare air? And I know in the comments, y'all go ahead fact check me, man. You're the only one to have the 100 record and the 200 record, I think, at the same time in the last maybe 30 years, 40 years of the history of track and field. There's nobody else. And I asked him, I was like, bro, why you never tried to break the 200-meter record even before your absence? He was like, it just seems so outlandish. But you're the only one to hold I agree, 1 and
man.
2.
Even when I broke it, I didn't believe. When I broke it in 08, I had no idea I could do it. I told you, my roommate, Maurice Smith at the time, when I came back, he was like, yo, congrats, blah, blah, blah. He's going, yo, you going for the 200? I was like, bro. Back then I was running 19.7. I don't think I got to 19.6 yet. I might have run like 1:19.6. I wasn't even thinking about world record, you know what I mean? So when I got to, he said to me like, yo, why not go? And I was like, you know what? What it's not gonna hurt. You know what I mean? Let's just go for it. You know what I mean? And that's was when I go for it. Because that's how I looked at the 200-meter world record as untouchable. That's how I looked at it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to get that. But on that day, he said, yo, try. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. And I just went for it, man. I got it. And I didn't even know to celebrate the way I was shocked. Because remember, the 200 is my favorite event. So when I got that, it meant so much more to me than 100. Even now, people are like, oh, the 100, yeah, but 200 meters, you know what I mean? Is my favorite thing, you know what I mean?
Now here
in 15, Coach Dennis was like, man, we gonna come back and get ready for this 200. We gonna battle in 200. I looked at Coach. This is the first time I ever said this. Nah.
I know. Bro, after I won
two. This is all. We're not going to.
After I won the 100, I knew because of the rounds that I'm going to run myself into shape. And I know he's good at running 200, but when it comes to 200, I don't fear anybody. Nobody. I'm ready all the time to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I seen a soundbite, and I know you talk to Mike all the time. Mike said he would have beat you if you was in his era. What do you feel about that?
Come on.
Michael Johnson.
I'm out this combo, boy. I'm 19.5.
Remember.
Mike, give another soundbite. Grandstand remember I heard that soundbite.
Remember, he was the one that said I couldn't break the world record. The same time I was breaking the world record. Yeah. Remember they had him on TV saying, yo, come on, man. Come on, Mike. No, that would have been different. My levels over 200 meters. He was good, but bro, I think because I've worked on my 200 so much, craft, for me, Don Quarry was one of my favorite runners. And he perfected running the corner. I perfected it. And over the years, I strive on not making anybody beat me off that corner. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. If you're going to chase me down, and these are the things that I work on over the years. So when I got to the level where I understood exactly how to run, where to run, how I can distribute my speed throughout the corner, like, I figured all that out throughout my time by working with coach and understanding the 200 meters. So for me, he had no chance, man.
I think statistically, you hold one of the fastest third leg in 4x1 history.
Better than anybody. Blake? Look,
yeah.
That year, he turned that Jets on Tyson.
No. He was there. We both were there in person, actually.
Yo, bro, I saw him catching. I was like, damn. I felt like he was going to keep it close and then bring it to me to run past Bailey. You know what I mean? That's what I thought was going to happen. But when I saw Blake, I was like, oh, shit.
So you really was surprised?
Yeah, of course. Bro. I didn't expect him to eat up all that ground on.
Yeah, he was moving.
I knew, like, there's no way Freighter is gonna beat Justin, so we know that. But can Blake keep it close? That's what I was saying. Can Blake keep it close enough? Or even get back a little bit to make it competitive? Because if he gets it, if I get 5 meters, I'm like, I can catch him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if more than 5 meters, it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? It's not like Bailey was slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I was watching and I saw him just eating up the ground, I was like, yeah, we definitely winning this. I was like, we definitely winning this for sure. You know what I mean? So
as soon as I saw them hit the turn, I was like, damn, Blake. I was like,
exactly.
I said, because as soon as I passed the baton, I was like, oh, we could.
Yeah.
I said, we can get this.
Yeah, because you look good. When you had the baton, you were looking good because you were pulling away from Freya little by little. So I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when I saw Blake, I was like, damn. I was happy though.
But that was our whole strategy, obviously, because by the time I would get the baton, if I was on fourth leg and you get the baton, there was no opportunity, there was no chance.
Yeah, exactly.
We did it in 13.
Yeah.
And I could make up no ground.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, just put me on the back stretch. I said, let me try to at least give us a cushion. So if it'll be a fight that'll be going on. You know what I mean?
All right. Since we're onto the relays, man, we do a thing here on RSG, and we definitely got to have you back. We're going to give you, man, you just the number one on his list. I told everybody why Jesse Owens was the number one on my list. That's crazy that you number one on his list. That's crazy. But anyway, you get to pick a all-star 4x1 national and a 4x1 international, meaning it doesn't have to be all Jamaica.
Okay.
And you got to put it in order, and you got to be on both of them.
But that's easy, though. I think for the international one, it has to be Asafa, Justin to Blake to me. I think that would be would be easy. That'd be easy world record there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's no question. You
had a lot of Jamaicans who were fast. So you have a lot to pick from for nationally.
You know what? I'll use Asafa again to Blake this time on the backstretch, and Don Quarry on the third leg, because as I said, he's mastered the corner. When I watch old tapes and how he runs, and most of the times he's getting off the corner before you. He ain't getting off. So for me, he would be my third leg, and then I'll anchor it as always.
I like that. I like that lineup. That's a solid lineup.
For sure.
One more I gotta give you. What? Because since you are such a high competitor, what would be your dream 100 lineup that you can race against?
Jesus. Wow.
I mean, he the fastest man in history, so he beat them all.
Well,
I still want to know who you want to run against.
But the five of us.
You gonna put Xavier in there?
No, he said the five.
Me, you, Tyson, Asafa, Blake. I would definitely like to compete against Maurice Green.
That's 6.
Ben Johnson.
7.
Wolf. It's tough to put the last one.
We're gonna give you a 9-lane track.
You know what? Just give Lies just because. Let's give Noah the spot just because.
Okay.
Just because I would love to race against him.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you ain't said one person, boy. Carl. Nah. Carl coming back with a soundbite on this one. So you got Noah at 8. We're going to give you a 9-lane track. Who else?
Why are you trying to? I don't know. I'm good at 8, man. I'm good at 8. I think.
So Lyles, you in there. Well, you made the cut, Noah.
Just because I would like to beat him.
There we go.
Because these young cats feel like they're ready.
Yeah, man. I know. I watched
every day. I'm like, why did I retire so early?
I watched
that. Got to be another competition. I would live for that.
It's
you
true.
Know what I mean?
When I saw what's it called? Remember when we saw the 150 at Adidas? And then he did the little guns at the, I said, boy. And Justin the Mirror, boy, he wouldn't have made it far with that.
Listen, I would have Xerox copied his face and put it on my wall, dog.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Justin said he was canceling all his meets. He said, that boy did that to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. If it was up to me, bro. Like, I remember when he just came out. And he said, I'll never forget. And he was like, when they asked him, like, Usain Bolt? He was like, Usain Bolt who? I was like, bro. Bro. Just stop it. I normally don't say nothing.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to interview. I was like, bro, if you don't know Usain Bolt is, you're in the wrong sport. That's what I said.
Right.
I was like, so stop it. So stop acting. You know what I mean? Put some respect on my name. You know what I mean? You know, every time you talk, you're like, yo, I want to break his record. So stop it.
You already
stop
know.
it.
You know who
But
it
he
is.
came on, I was like, oh, I didn't mean it like that, but be cool. You know what I mean? I respect everybody as athletes, and I understand you got to aim high and you want to break records. Is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would never disrespect or try to make it look away, because these guys are the guys that set the platform for you to come now and add to it to be better. You know what I mean? So I would never say anything bad about the old athletes before me, because these were the guys that really build the platform, and then we add to it, try to make it greater and try to figure out, compete better, to make it better. These guys are the ones. That's why even with the spikes, I'm like, people that complain, I was like, it's what it is. We expect it. Helps. But I expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what it is.
Man, there's so much more we could cover with you saying, man.
So
We
much
really
more.
round up our time. We definitely want to have a part 2, be lit up to his schedule, man. But you saying if you have anything, any PSAs or anything you want to say, that's your camera right there.
There's no PSAs, man.
No PSAs.
There's no PSAs.
man.
Just telling all the athletes, man, just understand the road won't be easy. Just know that it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? You got to sacrifice a lot, be determined. And if you don't do the work, then you're not going to be great. Just know that much. If you're going to do half the work, you're going to be half good. You want to be great, you got to sacrifice and just put your body through hell. Trust me. Ask Justin, you know, he understands.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Hey, I want to tell you, I appreciate you for everything you've done for the sport, for me, and coming on the show. And hopefully this is not the last time we'll be able to link up, man, for sure.
For sure, man, for sure.
This was an amazing episode, man. We hope you guys really enjoyed our interview, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Help us get the 100K on YouTube and all our other platforms. But until next time, on our next show on Ready, Set, Go!